Hey, I'm Scott.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Doxalogic, where we help you think with your Bible.
Okay, guys, moving on. Can a Christian's prayer be effective for something that happened in the past? For example, you forget to pray for a friend's surgery until after it's completed. You don't know the results yet, so you pray that it was a success, even though it already happened.
Well, I feel like I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Prayer requests.
Yeah, the prayer
list.
requests come in, and typically, people are praying like, "Hey, if they're written on Sunday and I don't get them till Monday, and you don't pray about that specific one because there's a lot of prayer requests. I try to get to all of them every week, but not necessarily by Monday.
Yeah.
But by Tuesday, they're like, "Hey, pray for me. I had this doctor's appointment on Monday. I'm praying on Tuesday. I have no idea how it happened or what happened quite yet."
Family member going into surgery on Monday, and you're literally reading it on Tuesday.
That's right. I don't omit it just because it's already happened.
Yeah.
So my tendency is just to pray for it. Mm-hmm. I pray for it, and I pray for it in that way. Lord, this has already happened. I pray that you have and would give favor here, and that whatever it came out as, either in the favorable sense, which, Lord, we're praying for, or in a less favorable sense, that you would use that and minister, if so, your nearness in a Psalm 34 kind of way, where the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and the crushed in spirit, whatever that is. And so still being able to pray in that way, and certainly God is not limited by our praying after the fact. Sure. And so that tends to be I'm praying to the God of the universe, so I feel pretty good about.
Yeah, I would say I'm not going to be praying for the results to change in the past, right? Like, not to be coy about it, but just I'm praying for the person more so than I'm praying for, they were going to remove a tumor and it's the next day, and I'm not praying that the tumor it was removed. I'm like, well, it is done, right? But I'm praying for the person's peace. I'm praying for the doctor's wisdom. I'm praying for how the family responds to these things. I'm praying for those consequences and anything else that's still ongoing, Lord, whatever they're facing today, because I haven't talked to the person yet or whatever it might be. Like, it does change the way I'm praying, but it's not to say you shouldn't do it by any means.
I think
That's
of
fair.
The idea of even the faith of the centurion in Matthew 8, and the idea of him going and talking to Jesus, and Jesus being stunned by this guy's faith, because he's like, I know how this works, right? I say, go to the people under me, and they go, and I command them, and they do what I say. You command, and certainly it can take place. And so Jesus says, essentially, it's truly, I tell you, no, with no one in Israel have I found such faith. And I tell you, many will come from east and west and recline at table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, while the sons of the kingdom will be thrown into the outer darkness, speaking of this centurion's faith. And then he says in verse 13, and to the centurion, Jesus said, go, let it be done for you as you have believed. And the servant was healed at that very moment. But he had to travel all the way back to see that it was a reality, right? And so there's going to be lapses in time between what you're praying for and seeing the answer to that, in some way, shape, or form. And I think to Chris's point, you're praying for the person. Certainly you're praying for the outcome, but really often, even before something's taking place, you're praying for the person to draw near to the Lord regardless of outcome. You're praying for God to minister his kindness to them regardless of outcome. Yes, you pray for the best, but you recognize, and a lot of times they're praying for, Lord, your will be done. And if that be something adverse to what we as humans would not want to receive, God, would you use this in a wonderfully sanctifying way to draw us to Christ, to make us more like Jesus? And so I think those prayers fit regardless.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to Doxalogic, a podcast by Doxa Church in Rockland, California. To learn more, visit us online at doxa.church.